We're back after DAMWON versus KT Rolster. DAMWON had the shortest game in the summer split. We could see that in the beginning of the pick and ban because we had the Fiddlesticks first game in LCK. Victoria is Fiddlesticks main currently in solo queue, so he's a bit worried about it being an OP by the normal players as well. This time around, DAMWON Gaming tried the Fiddlesticks in the jungle. This could be a potential flex pick for DAMWON, so KT was having a lot of trouble dealing with this during the pick and bans. Nuguri and Showmaker, they always have a very deep champion pool, so KT couldn't really tell whether it's gonna be on top, jungle, or mid. Because Fiddlesticks was a three-way flex, so it was really interesting to see that kind of choosing the last piece of their comp. At the end of the draft, we could see that no lanes in KT's side was winning. Every three laners had the lane priority, so KT Rolster, they weren't really having an easy game from the beginning. So Fiddlesticks is back in LCK after 499 days. Today, Kenyon, the way he utilizes this champion was on another level. Let's take a look at his early jungling path. So this is around the 6-minute mark of the game, so other mainstream jungle champions, they aren't actually able to keep jungling at this point because they're out of mana or HP. However, Kenyon already cleared out a lot of camps in the jungle, so he had a huge gap in terms of CS, gold, and XP. And once again, he's having his second recall to the base at the 8-minute mark, and he changed his spell to TP with his rune. So he instantly TP to the mid lane and rushed to Herald. This was one of the mainstream pathing of an AP champion earlier in the other metas. So with the runic echo that he purchased with his futures market, Fiddlesticks had a huge item lead compared to Trundle. Kenyon had a really deep understanding of this champion. And at this Herald timing, Jace also TP'd to mid lane, so he also had a huge priority, giving Kenyon even more space to go for that Herald. In the end, we had a very awesome ultimate coming out from Kenyon. This was not one of the most decisive team fights in this game. However, it's really good to take a look at how Kenyon utilized this champion. We are having a bit of an extended fight, and then as soon as KT lost their vision on this champion, Kenyon comes in outside of the KT's vision, and then he literally landed a crowd control on the side of KT, a massive AoE fear. Trundle can be a huge obstacle for Fiddlesticks, but Kenyon was really sharp, deciding his timing to go in. With its strong and promising performance, DAMWON secured the Game 1 victory. It's time to check out the player of the game at the side of DAMWON Gaming. It's Kenyon on Fiddlesticks. Maybe it was a little bit too obvious because he was literally popping off over the rift. KT, maybe they could have been aiming for the later stage of the game. But the fact that DAMWON Gaming was putting a lot of pressure in the beginning and the middle of the game means that they were really good at utilizing the lane pressure and also the jungle gap. And also in the solo queue, a lot of junglers are having a hard time, but maybe they can learn some tips from Kenyon, the way he kind of macros and pass down the jungle. Another 11 votes for this TOG. Once again, media voted for Showmaker, but Kenyon had 11 votes in the end.
Thank you so much, G-Sun, as usual, for the translation of the analyst desk for what may be the final time for tonight. If DAMWON keep up this level of play, and KT also keep up their plans as well, because it hasn't been working. That last draft got completely obliterated by this gentleman on your screen. The Crow Storms were great. The Fiddlesticks was very scary. And for good reason. That worked out very much in DAMWON's favor.
He basically had control of the game from minute one, and I think that one media guy was probably busy writing an article while while that game was going on, so maybe he didn't see the way the game went. But either way, I mean,
and he gave it to Showmaker.
Yeah, Showmaker was shock blasting people. Like,
he was ahead by 20 CS in 17 minutes.
Yeah, against the Lulu. Like,
nice.
Great. Yeah. Either way, Canyon did get it. He deserved it for sure. And now we're going to see if KT have any answer to DAMWON, who, again, their players are playing really great, and I think their drafts have really improved here in Summer. As they're going to say, no more Jace. We do not want to see that Jace again.
See whether they are going to ban the Fiddlesticks. Might be an option as DAMWON. Just look, find the Varus key. Come on. Silly Billies. Taking forever.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, there's no V in Korean, so they actually call him Varus.
Varus. Yeah. Actually sounds kind of cool. I'm a fan. Varus. Actually, I know that. My girlfriend plays Varus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what should I pick you? And she's like, Varus. Amazing.
Yeah. It's a cool way to call Varus for sure. As, yeah, they're not going to give him the Ezreal. And I feel like they're almost baiting him to pick Aphelios here. They're like, go ahead. I dare you. Or pick Trundle. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that worked for you last time.
Or pick Kalista, which could actually be good.
True.
Especially if they can have the dapper gentleman Tarek with her. Certainly if you go down the LCK tier list that we've built up for ourselves over the last week and a half, Kalista certainly does feel like the next cab off the rank. As now DAMWON. Imagine if they do it. Trundle Aphelios, let's go.
Well, that would be fighting fire with fire. When you see the Kalista, you immediately know that she's going to be with one of those heavy hitters, let's say, to go there in the support role, and they're going to be looking for mainly engage. So Trundle is actually not bad when you consider that. You should be expecting at least one tank on the enemy team to give your Trundle value. Now to see if they do want to go for the Aphelios, which might not be a bad idea if they are running straight into you.
I want to see an Ashe. Ashe does fantastically well into the Kalista. But instead, they're just not going to look for an AD carry at all, as the set is going to be locked in. Most likely for Noguri, because there's already a troll. But of course, you can flex the Trundle. It could even be the last pick Senna here for Ghost. That does open the floor to a lot of different options. Senna didn't really work out against Gen G though, so still wondering what they're going to do. This is a no-brainer. But what they do to augment it, I think picking up a comfort pick for Kuro makes a lot of sense. And Twisted Fate is available. And would do some pretty great things here for KT comp. But Bono's going to choose his own priority here. As of course, Jarvan and Olaf are the names synonymous with good old Bono, so he's going to take one of them away.
Yeah. He does love those champions, so he's going to go ahead and have a good matchup with the Jarvan into the Trundle, more so than the Olaf. And let's see what DAMWON want to go ahead and take here. Do they want to go ahead and take that Senna? I think that was definitely a good guess from you, Atlas, and they will select it here. Not electing to go for Aphelios this time, so he's going to be totally ignored in this pick ban so far.
And also it means that the confusion of set is only going to increase, as now he can head towards the bottom lane very comfortably, top lane, even jungle. You can play Senna Trundle if you would like to, there towards the bottom side, and Pillar does ruin the day of Kalista quite effectively. Also has a lot of sustain. King's Tribute is pretty silly, actually. just getting health back whenever anything dies. Things tend to die in a laning phase.
That they do.
Rumble to be banned, though.
Yeah, we're just banning more and more AP. Both sides really do need some kind of magic damage.
Galio needs to be banned here by DAMWON. 100%.
Galio.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either Galio or Azir. We were in a spot like that earlier today as well. I just suppose that the teams have Azir in a little bit higher tier, I would suppose. And it is against Kuro again, which is very interesting. But I wouldn't be surprised to see KT pick up Galio to round out their composition. Kale is actually going to be denied here, and I do like that ban. Nuggery likes his Kale, and the Kale invincibility would be nice against the hard engage from KT.
Interesting to ban the Kale when DAMWON on the team with the Trundle. It's sort of showing that KT are considering collecting themselves an On, as all the barrels special in the fasting Maokai for the bottom lane. They will put confirmation on Nuggery playing set topside, which is only going to lower the stock even further of that On pick, although it did do fine in lane, I guess. Just felt like Smeb was made to be pretty irrelevant during that game. Bit of a sidestep though here, as the Death Realm is going to make its way forward. 8 seconds to go before they actually make up their mind here, as it looks like Smeb's decided that Mordekaiser is the way to go.
Yeah, most likely going to be dealing with Set up in the top lane, you would imagine. There still is ability to flex. You know, we could have Maokai go top, Set go support. Could have Set go mid. You know, we haven't seen it in a while, but there's still the small possibility. So if they wanted to try to get something to potentially counter a Mordekaiser, they could force it, but not sure that they will, as the Galio we were talking about seemed a little bit obvious there, as, ooh, this would be interesting.
Very interesting.
I really like the Vladimir into this composition, but they're considering Talia instead.
They're considering a lot of things, because you mentioned the flexibility. I mean, they technically have like 3 junglers, 3 supports, so many different options, right? Like, the Kassadin will be the decision here from Showmaker. Has a pretty decent laning phase into the Galio because of the short-range nature of Galio just in general. Winds of War can be a bit frustrating, but should be a free lane for the Kassadin. And DAMWON, yes, they're very short range, at least until Senna gets a few stacks in her. And that's going to play into KT's hands quite effectively. Definitely a much better draft this time around for KT. But also, DAMWON do have a lot of comfort on their side. You always have to look at the top side of the map. Kassadin for Showmaker is certainly one of his flex champions. And I don't mean flex champions as in it's flexible, it's he likes to flex on with this champion. And the set for Nuggery, he certainly had a good game in game number 1. So let's see whether DAMWON's going to keep up the form or whether KT, with a much better draft, are going to be successful.
Yeah, KT's comp, pretty obvious what they want to do here. We're going forward, we're engaging, and they're going to be throwing in the Taric to join the Jarvan for jumping into the fight, and Galio to follow up. The Mordekaiser, kind of interesting, but I suppose they wanted some more ability power. I wouldn't have minded actually Vladimir on their side too, just for more Wombo, but not going to go for it here, as on the other side, definitely interesting. We don't see comps like this too often, but they're going to be having a decent amount of tankiness. They're lacking as much damage as they had in the last game, but they're kind of hoping that Showmaker can sit back and scale on that casting.
Yep, when he gets to a couple of items, he is going to be doing a hell of a lot of work. And, you know, Ghost is a hyper carry as well. I mean, this comp does scale very effectively on DAMWON's side. The KT, their mid-game's amazing. They have so much AoE CC. And we've seen the Galio Jarvan combo, the Cataclysmic Entrance, all the time to guarantee those engages, and Aiming can bounce around and have the help of Tucson to make sure that everyone is just dazzled up and ready to be taken. But let's see whether DAMWON are just going to not care about that and just be better. Conqueror Kassadin into the mid lane. Just shows confidence here from Showmaker. Doesn't feel like he needs the fleet footwork or anything like that. As the adorable little kitten is standing vigil right next to this ward.
Yeah, Beryl, seen the entire time. He wants to get in there and put down another sapling. And Jarvan's just going to go up to the blue here.
Can we just have a look? Beryl had to flash? Yes, he did.
Oh, wow. Pretty early on that he had to flash in that one. That's a little bit unfortunate. But again, he was seen the entire way and probably saw Kuro.
It looked like Noguri barely even noticed that Smeb did that. This was one of our matchups that we were talking about in spring a lot. The Mordekaiser into set and how so many top laners picked the Mord into the set. And it just straight up didn't work. All right, KT just scope Beryl out on his way in with that excellent ward that you pointed out earlier.
Yeah. It was a max range stun from the Taric, so you don't see that all the time. We're seeing some more. I believe that's Ultimate Hunter.
Is indeed.
So he's going to be looking to jump a lot.
Wow. That is one hell of a...
Kuro. You warming up your voice for the...
Yeah, that's what...
Gonna start singing for us? Or?
No, it's a bit of a disastrous beginning here for Kuro, but he's going to eat through some potions. He should be okay. Doran's ring start, so not exactly corrupting charges. See Showmaker with his Doran shield. Should keep him alive. DAMWON here on the bottom side. Pretty happy to have this wave shoved into them. As the Kalista Taric is pretty scary. As there's the face breaker. Smeb is not going to have the greatest times in this lane, is what I sort of foresee.
Yeah. The second I saw him picking the Mordekaiser, I mean, the set is face up, right? There's flexibility we talked about.
Yeah, it was weird.
There was flexibility, but it's like, why would DWG not put the set there?
Well, that's going to be a great taunt onto Showmaker, who has to flash immediately, and KT, they understand that's what they wanted to get out, and Bono will be back. You best believe.
Yeah, he's going to come back with a thumbs up. And, yeah, that's the one thing where it's like Kassadin generally against melee targets is going to be pretty okay, but that taunt can be pretty annoying to deal with, especially before you're level 6.
Whoa, that's the flash forward from Tucson. Beryl's going to be knocked up as well immediately. He's exhausted, uses the Twisted Advance to escape. As Ghost gets a fair bit of damage back, so not able to actually find this one. Shields go up for our top laners as they're trying to fight this one out. The Obliterate was avoided. The flashes come through from both of the top laners, but Canyon just flashes in and munches him.
Reminds me of Cho'Gath, just a quick nom. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And
I always envision Cho'Gath with the gentleman's skin, by the way. I think there's only one skin for Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
Up you go.
He's a dapper gentleman.
He most certainly
is. Very handsome. And they might get caught out here. Beryl still doesn't have his flash.
Yeah. As there's the knockup onto Beryl. Twisted Advance trying to avoid some of the CC. Exactly right. And now aiming, he's got absolutely no mana. He's trying to hop himself out of here. Not going to be piercing anyone at this stage. And Bono, if at first you don't succeed, try again. But this was only the second try, and that one also didn't really work out. As, yeah, Beryl doesn't have his flash still, but they haven't had to use any summoner spells, apart from a teleport that Beryl used to get back to lane. Let's have a look at it again.
Yeah, so it's Nuguri just getting good trades off here.
It's
unfortunate for Smeb that he didn't take tower aggro that one time. As nice flash, then he's going to force the flash. And there's a ping immediately, and he's like, oh, no problem. Thanks, Tremble. Nice setup there with the trade. He was up a level. He was slow pushing in, so he was actually setting up for the dive, but it ended up working out even better than he expected.
Yep, this just in, Noguri's forward percentage this series is currently about 100%.
It feels that way. It's never not going to be there.
Yep. Kuro's going to face check, gets the taunt though onto Canyon, who still wants more. It's the squishiest Galio I think I've ever seen in my life, as Canyon has more farm than him. Although, that's just mostly a shout out to Canyon farming pretty quickly as far as the lane is concerned, only 3 CS behind. Nuguri just continues to fight with Smeb. There's the showstopper. As Nogari just finds a bit of damage with the outskirts of the Haymaker there.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like Nuggery just is desperately trying to fight, so he just presses all his buttons. He's like, I'm just going to kill you. I'm going to do as much damage as possible, even if I don't get the kill. I just want to attack you. He's all about the PvP.
Yep, instill fear in his opponent. Yeah. As Canyon moves on over, he's going to start off this Infernal Drake. Looks like the first one should be going over to DAMWON. As this bottom lane that's had so much attention, he's doing absolutely fine down here. In fact, Beryl is, in theory, doing better than what aiming is, as the teleport's going to come in way too late. DAMWON just walk away and allow Kuro to enter.
Yeah, they could have set that up pretty nicely if he TP'd about 5 seconds earlier and, you know, threatened a flash taunt of sorts. But it was a little bit too late. The ward was there and spotting it, so it's kind of just a free dragon going over to the side of DAMWON Gaming, getting them ahead. That Infernal going to be really nice for the Kassadin specifically.
Yeah, Beryl's taking a lot of damage here, gets those sticks ripped out, down to about 500, so he'll be fine. As Ghost going for the Black Cleaver build. We're back to Glacial Augment here on our centers. It's been a while since we've seen the grass ones, actually. As Canyon just going to steal away a blue buff here as well. And in 30 seconds' time, might be Rift Herald here for the gentleman, who's once again putting on a clinic here in the jungle.
Canyon's just farming really well, and he's always seeming to be in the right place at the right time. Was able to dive and pick up the easy kill. And definitely has a massive lead in the jungle because of that. And he was able to hit level 6 before Bono, which is part of the reason why he was able to kind of freely pick up that dragon. And once again, I mean, Smeb, you know, he opted into this lane. He got killed by the jungler after the dive. Now he's going to be struggling a lot, as it does look like we are going to see another Blade of the Rune King build here from Nuggery. So he'll be getting quite aggressive onto Smeb.
It looks like Rift Herald may have been starting here. There are a lot of pings. Nogari getting taken down very low into the Death Realm. Does have Haymaker, remember. As he uses it a little bit late. Didn't actually have much of the grit back. As there's the Flash Cataclysm. Facebreaker was good. Not good enough as Canyon moves on over. He's able to put a pillar into that brush. But Bono should make it to safety, and it's Showmaker's turn for a late teleport. Kuro and Aiming move on over here. All 5 members of KT here on the top side. Nogari without teleport, so can't make his way back in. Control Ward spots out Bono, who's relatively low. And Ghost is by himself. This is really dangerous. But Showmaker coming on in. Death's Grasp doesn't land. Kuro misses his Justice Punch. And there it is. The Riftwalk working out as Showmaker keeping them all at arm's length. Gets in there finally. And it's the Trundle that locks down the kill. Now Tucson dazzles a couple up, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. As there's the Maokai picking up the kill onto Aiming, and KT have just imploded.
Yeah. And this Gallius did too.
Yeah, there are cats, and they are not excited. And that is going to be a kill going over to Showmaker. And I don't like calling games early, but this one might be done, Valdez.
Yeah, I mean, that was 4v5. And before that fight started, I was looking at it and I'm like, wow, DWG are very confident. They're forcing a 4v5. I don't know if this is really going to work out as well as we would expect. And then, of course, DWG immediately proved me wrong, and they just made it look really easy, too. And I want to take another look at how that was really possible. They bunched them all up for Kassadin AoE at level 7, which generally is not when you're expecting Kassadin to do so much damage, but
I think he only had a blasting one then as well. I think he just completed his Rod of Ages. At this point in time, as Nogari's going to walk on over and get a bit of a start onto Shelly.
Yeah, they're not even, KT's kind of just ditched that plan of ever trying to get the Rift Heralds then. Yeah. And I would imagine that Nuggery did a lot of damage in that last fight too, because you bunch everybody up, and Canyon sitting here pretty at 2-0-2. He was a big catalyst for why they were able to win that fight with his excellent pillars, and was able to really separate the enemy team of KT, who kind of just looked like everybody was deserting the fight and trying to run away, which made it look even more one-sided as they're trying to dive a Kassadin.
Who's level 8. And there's the Fate's Call. Riftwalk will get Showmaker to relative safety, but there's a great taunt. Cosmic Radiance comes down as Showmaker tries to get over that wall. And And Beryl comes on in with the Twisted Advance. Kuro is well and truly dead, so it's a 1-for-1 in the end. Investment very, very high here for KT. It's Tucson down to half, and Beryl has him in his sights, just waiting for that Twisted Advance to come back off cooldown. There it is. And actually he gets brought further forward. Arcane Smash is going to knock back Bono as well. Tucson should be falling. Showstopper to close distance and murder the Taric at the same time, and that's going to deliver aiming his just desserts as well. And down goes Shelly. And a lot of KT's hopes here in this game.
Yeah, just flexing on him now. They're like, how dare you four-man dive a Kassadin? You're going to disrespect us in that way? We're just going to immediately shut you down. I mean, they get their kill, but you just have to wonder, you know, was it worth it to use all of those ultimates that they used, the summoners, you know, the exhaust to try to get him? And the obvious answer was absolutely not, because DAMWON were able to respond really quickly and just dog them down. It's rough when you're going up against Maokai, Kassadin, Set, Trundle, who can actually chase you down really, really well. So going for dives like that, generally not a great idea, as this is actually the replay I originally wanted to see.
Yes, from a while ago.
Yeah, it's 5v4, and all of KT are bunched up.
Look at Beryl avoids everything.
Yeah, it's like everything misses, and then everyone gets pillared here and hit by the Maokai. Improved cat.
Yeah, look at all of the cats on everyone.
Yeah, and it just turns into just like an AoE damage fest. KT's positioning was not very good. And DAMWON were just so confident to take the fight that it's, you know, even though it's 4v5, they made it look so easy. And they kind of put the fear into the heart of KT. We're just desperately trying to run away right from the get-go. As, look at everything they used. The Cataclysm, the Cosmic Radiance, the Exhaust. Kuro's under the turret to try to force this fight to happen. There are multiple flashes, and then they just get chased down here. Beryl says, no, we can get these guys. Nuguri from the top side avoids the grip. Canyon comes in with the pillar, and then the perfect ultimate from Set to get the slow onto aiming here and close the distance, pick himself up a double kill.
Yeah, taxis his way on top and breaks the Callista's face.
You know, we were thinking that maybe this was going to be DAMWON sitting back, trying to get their Kassadin to scale up a little bit. Nah, there's already 10 kills in the game, and they're already dominating their opponents here. DAMWON just looking so clean so far in Summer, and always a treat to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Turret plate's not even fallen down yet. They've still got about 20 seconds in them, and DAMWON have taken down the outer turret in mid lane, one of the hardest to actually pick up. Their win rate, as you saw on the screen, 8 wins. With first turret and 0 losses, I believe. So that ain't bad. Obviously, Gen G were able to take the first turret in a couple of games that they were able to win over DAMWON, because they haven't done a lot of losing so far in the LCK, and that's looking to continue. As they'll be challenging for the top spot. It is going to be Kingzone defending that title. They're the only team to remain undefeated here in the LCK. In match score, of course. It's currently sitting at 3-0.
DRX, right?
Sorry, yeah, DRX. Yeah. Is that, who did I
You were living in 2019. You said Kingzone.
I did say Kingzone.
Former Kingzone.
Formerly Kingzone, also formerly DragonX, now just DRX.
Yeah.
And I've messed that one up quite a few times. I apologize, everyone.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We forgive you. It's all good. And yeah,
there was a CG mistake, by the way, and I don't think that was actually correct. The turret stat.
Oh. Okay.
So I can't really read it because this screen that we get the information on is like real jank. Thank you very much. Yeah, moving down the screen for us is breaking the fourth wall, but they're breaking Smeb's face right now as the showstopper will put him in his place, but he survives for a very long time thanks to the World Ender, but Facebreaker comes off cooldown, not quite enough there as Showmaker does find the kill on the Mordekaiser, and Canyon going to turn up in the nick of time to try and save this Kassadin. Bono does turn up as well. Subjugate's going to be there, and that pillar placement was absolutely amazing out of Canyon, who's giving Bono a bit of a lesson on how to play this Trundle.
Yeah, I mean, the Trundle, you just go ahead and look back at Game 1 and see the comp that Trundle was playing against. Compared to this one, he's going up against 4 melee and lots of tanks. Trundle just loves this. He gets right in their face, subjugates the guy down, does a ton of damage. He didn't even take press the attack, he went phase rush, just to make sure that he was always on top of his opponents. The movement speed for Trundle very important. That's why he takes Nimbus Book very commonly.
You take every movement speed option in the sorcery tree. That's how you're supposed
water
to
walking, right? Yeah, just always trying to get in their face. And yeah, I mean, this is the power of Galio to immediately join a fight. But it's just like a sitting duck for a Showmaker who's got the presence of mind, is able to get a bunch of mana back, and you're never really gonna kill the Kassadin as the Galio in these fights that just get really messy. It's like you're just always gonna be dogs down, and you're never gonna be on top of him. So it was another great final pick from Showmaker. Actually, he's showing the power of this Kassadin, not only at level 16, which I know which chat loves.
Cool. There's the knock up onto Noguri, gets dazzled. Canyon's going to turn up. As a showstopper does bring Toustin back, but Cosmic Radiant's going to come in and should arm to keep this Taric alive. Smeb out of position though, and Barrel's going to smash everyone back. Showmaker grabs himself yet another kill as Kuro gets himself a taunt, but he's still in amongst two, and he's going to go down way too low. There's the heroic entrance, gets a knock up onto Ghost, but it straight up does not matter. Showmaker should be able to take down Bono here. In the meantime, Beryl is going 1v2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, look at him.
That's a triple kill for Showmaker as well. His Penta's waiting down here as Taunting Shadow flies through in celebration. And DAMWON at 8,000 gold in the lead at 17.5 minutes.
Yeah. I think this is...
that fat lady has begun yodeling,
I can hear her. She's she's probably at the entrance of the LCK arena right now because this game is pretty much over. I mean, Nuguri is going up against 4 people for like 10 seconds, and it still doesn't matter. They can't kill him. They do eventually, but that's the fun part of DWG Gaming's composition. It's like, you know, you can take down one, but then eventually you're going to have a lot of low health bars. You're going to use a lot of your lockdown, and that is when Kassadin is going to strike. And he's going to have his entire team and slowing everybody up and rooting everybody up. And he's just going to have a ball in these team fights. That's why Kassadin really feels like a great pick here. As Bono is desperate, but then remembers that Stopwatch is a great rune that everybody should take.
Oh, Noguri doing his inting thing once again. Has all of his grip built up. He's inside the Death Realm, I believe, as he steps into the brush, and Smeb has to get the heck out of there. Noguri somehow survives. Smeb certainly did not, as it's a double kill for the Kassadin. The triple kill, could it be the Penta? Quadro comes down, and now Bono should be giving over. Showmaker's pentakill as he charges up the Rift Walk. Rank 1 in Korean solo queue, and now rank 1 in mid lane pentakills for LCK Summer.
Nicely done. I think we can all safely say that this game is well and truly over after that one.
10-1-4 Kassadin at
having
19 minutes.
He's having a game, that's for sure. This feels like solo queue, man.
Oh my god.
There's really not much to break down here. You know, it's kind of desperation from KT. They're not, you know, they've got one direction and it's forward, and they're so far behind that it just doesn't matter. Showmaker is just dancing all over these fights. He's eating them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner right now. Pentakill comes in.
싸우자.
And then the KT Rolsters flag as well.
야, 타릭 노플.
Real
천천히 봐. 야, 무조건 이겨.
We're definitely going to win.
Pentakill.
We're definitely going to win. Take it slowly. They said
펜타킬.
You guys can understand that one.
아우!
That's a happy Showmaker on your screen
Yeah.
right there.
He gave us,
Congratulations.
like, the wolf howl at the end of that one. The true alpha of the Rift.
Now, you guys try to do a sub 20-minute 5,000 damage on Kassadin in a team fight. That's real hard. As Canyon, it's 20 minutes into the game, and that means Baron time. According to DAMWON, they're not going to do it very quickly. In fact, they have a pretty horrendous Baron taking composition. But knowing aiming is on the bottom side of the map with no teleport or anything like that, trying to take down an outer turret, they're just going to wander on over and take the Baron and most likely parade themselves towards the base, take that one down, and walk home with a swift 2-0. Fastest night, I think, by a large margin we've had for a very long time.
We've been having a lot of long nights. We haven't had a 4-game night yet. So this is going to be the first one. And everybody's kind of just going to be zooming out of here because of these teams.
He still has Rift Herald and Baron.
Yeah, there it goes.
This Baron might kill the Nexus.
They're going to end the game right now.
We might see the Dancing Rift Herald.
This game is ending right now, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be 23 minutes into 21 minutes.
Shirley seemed to have bugged out for a second there. Didn't even get to charge as DWG were too busy destroying everything. Showmaker with his rip walk gets himself out of the way and now dives on top of Smev, who puts him in the death realm, but he gets out of there real quick, smart. As Shirley's still there, 22 health on Shirley, and I don't think they're going to be able to kill her. Eventually they do take her down and aiming, doing the best he can. Double kill one more time as Showmaker grabs the triple. Nuguri denies the back-to-back pentakills.
Imagine that.
That would have been extraordinary. The Nexus is going to go down. 21 minutes and 35 seconds is going to be their victory time, the fastest so far in Summer. And I don't think KT even really know what happened to them in this particular game. I think our fastest game before this was 23.5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, for some reason here I only have the spring.
Yeah, 23.55.
The spring times. Yeah.
And that was KT versus Team Dynamics.
So they beat it and then they beat it again?
No. KT versus Dynamics. So I think that was Dynamics crushing KT. And KT beat their own lost time by 2 minutes.
Yes,
That's
you are
what
correct.
happened. That's the saddest stat.
They
DAMWON doing it.
DAMWON beat them in like 23.5 minutes in game 1, and then game 2 is 21.5 minutes. So
so maybe actually they beat it
two
twice.
records. Yes.
Yeah, they might have broke the record and then broken it again.
Exactly.
Okay.
They just destroyed them. And KT was
do you
not
want to
looking
write?
bad. Oh, yeah, I do have to.
Yeah, you just have to write.
Okay, thank you for
I got my vote
checking
back.
the box.
I got my vote back for this particular round. Nailed it. I can join the 12 other.
Yeah, that was
11 other votes.
a group vote right there.
Yep.
I think he's going to get 12 out of 12.
I think he might get 13 out of 12.
Although, I don't know. I think that Cannon also had a really good game once again.
I mean, he did actually.
There's part of me that almost wanted to vote for him, even though we did have the pentakill and the 10 kills. Actually, that was more than 10 kills at the end.
Yep.
For the Kassadin.
I think it was like 13, 1, and 5 or something by the end.
Yeah.
Pretty extraordinary when it comes to a Kassadin performance, but I think you're right. I think Canyon once again put on a jungle masterclass. I think there is certainly some problems in the KT jungle at the moment. I know a lot of people on the internet are talking about where Tarzan is, and if he could potentially become a Rolster. I'm not sure whether that's going to be the case, though, guys. Haven't heard any rumors. In fact, don't know where he is whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because if Showmaker's just holding on to the top spot in solo queue, that's normally something that belongs to Tarzan, to be honest.
True.
Has been years past, so yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. So put your Bible thumbs in the chat, and let's just hope that he does find his way back into the LCK some way, somehow. So Tarzan.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at the Showmaker highlight reel. As also Beryl. Beryl was amazing this game as well.
It was like Canyon, Beryl, and Showmaker as the three of them that really did a lot here. I think there's a good chance that Canyon or Beryl are going to win, even though Showmaker did have a pop-off Kassadin performance. And yeah, it was just devastation from the get-go. Like, even the Trundle just casually driving by in the top lane and picking up first blood. Just better play and better crafted compositions. DAMWON are so dangerous right now in Summer. I think any team that plays against DAMWON should be scared. And the next team that is going to be playing against DAMWON is T1 on Wednesday.
Oh, dear.
That is a match.
That is one hell of a match.
That's the big one.
Starting off each of them, pretty difficult. Did DAMWON, week 2, starting off with their match against Gen G that they were unable to find their victory in, but now back on track here against KT and looking scarier than ever. Our top 4, man, I think it's really, really exciting to see who's going to be able to make it up there. I think everyone knows that T1 are going to just get better and better as the season goes on. That is how they go every single time. But with the form that we've seen out of DRX, with the form that we've seen here out of DAMWON, and
Gen
of course
G too.
with Gen G today, looking absolutely brilliant. This is going to be a very interesting sort of playoffs viability run for a lot of our LCK teams, which is exactly what you want heading into Worlds, right?
I think finally the Korean teams are beginning to ramp up.
우리 너무
It
템
is
차이 많이
summer.
나고 못 끝내면 우리 롤 접어야 돼. 그건 맞긴 해, 그건 맞긴
He
해.
said we
나
can't
마법의
and
영향
we have
빨고
to
왔어. 나 의미가 없어, 못
uninstall.
끝내면.
I'm pretty
Oh,
like
yeah,
I'm
okay, 칼리 없어,
95%
아직.
sure that's what he said. That was Ghost.
Oh
전령
my
안
God,
받고
that's
게임하면 안 돼?
perfect.
오케이 오케이.
Well, I mean, look
야,
at
전령 댄스
Shirley.
보여주자,
She like
이거.
tried
오케이,
to
전령
charge
댄스
and then
가자.
there was
가자,
no
가자.
turret.
갈게.
She
야
bugged
칼리타닉
out.
모대 노플 칼리타닉 모대 노플.
천천히 천천히.
전령 들어가게 그럴게요.
Kalista,
타워 타워 타워
and
타워 타워 타워.
뒤에 거부터
Mordekaiser,
뒤에
no
거부터.
flash.
야,
다 먹혔다 뒤에.
뭐야 이거?
데려갔어 데려갔어.
야나
Sherman
무조건
can
이겨.
actually say, give me another penta.
다 왔어.
아 전령 댄스 못 보여주겠다.
야 전령 지켜 전령 지켜. 야 전령 지켜. 전령 지켜. 야 펜타.
He was saying
어
now
펜타
they're
펜타
calling
펜타.
Penta.
어 펜타 펜타. 아 까비.
I said, oh, what?
나 죽었다리.
야 오늘
see
칼
Nori's
어,
sheep in
어,
the
어,
face?
자,
Yeah,
야 하거나
that was
하거나. 야
adorable.
들어가 들어가. 하거나.
그만 들어가.
They were also saying protect the Rift Herald because they wanted to keep him alive going into the end of that game. This was probably the most one-sided series we've had so far.
Yeah,
Summer.
100%. I don't remember the last one. I mean, it gets a little like when it comes to series this or games this one-sided. I have to look back to World Championships. I'd prefer to forget. So I'm
we
just
did
not gonna
have
do that.
Hanwha Life kind of get destroyed by Team Dynamics yesterday too. So
That's true. That's true.
actually, there does seem to be a bit of a rift in the middle of the LCK where there's now
Yeah.
like the top teams, but it feels different from spring where there were only like 4 teams where we were like, oh, this team is good. Now it feels like there's 6 or 7 teams where we're like, oh, this team is pretty good, and then 3 teams where we're like,
Yeah, there's some forgettable ones. As it is going to be Beryl that picks up player of the game.
we did the Penta vote.
Yep, I think the Dent vote's okay. I don't know whether he'd be unanimously picking this one up, but Beryl did play fantastically well.
I thought it was going to be Beryl or Canyon. I think I would have given it to Canyon before Beryl, but Beryl did absolutely have a fantastic game of the Maokai.
I think we will be able to get a bit of an idea of
The votes.
the votes.
Would like to know the votes.
If we don't get to find out otherwise. It was 8, I believe.
8 support, 4 for mid. So nobody voted for Canyon.
Yeah,
Which
would
is
have been
strange to
the one guy. It might have
Oh.
been the fact that he played Trundle, and it's just really hard to give it to Trundle because everyone plays Trundle. Maybe that was the problem.
He out-jungled again.
Yeah,
he
he
was in the right place at the right time to pick up first blood. He had multiple game-changing pillars.
Yep.
Again, it's not the hardest thing against the comp they were playing against, but still, I think he did deserve at least one vote from someone.
Do you know what I want to point out, though? It's the fact that we're going into a POG interview with Beryl and Canyon
Yeah,
on a team with Nogari and Showmaker.
that's pretty crazy.
And that's a really good sign for DAMWON, showing that they definitely do have the support for their superstars.
Can't wait for Wednesday.
As well as we're going to throw it over to G-Sun for some interview translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season with the English translation. And let's hear from Kenyan Burl from DAMWON Gaming. I didn't expect such a fast game like this. I'm happy that we ended up really quick
오늘 좀
today.
좀 바뀔 수도 있는 그런 중요한 경기였는데
It was a really important match because we could change the standing, so it's a bit relieved that we secured this victory.
완전 앵그리 모드여서 그런가?
Yeah, I mean, did losing to Genji really impact you guys a lot? Because this time around, you guys was really rushing and we had a speed run.
저희는 그냥 그 저희가 원래 하던 대로
We just played as we usually played.
대로 했을 뿐인데 왜 그렇게 빨리 끝냈냐고 하시면
예. 아 그런데 아 그러게요 하던데.
I guess, yeah, DAMWON, you guys stayed the same, which is playing really fast. But how about, what did the Genji series
실수가 좀 많이
affect
있어가지고
you?
그런 것 좀
We
많이
definitely made a lot of mistakes in that series, so
그럼
we
이제
worked
경기로
on those
넘어가서
points.
캐니언 선수 오늘 이제
Let's go back to the game talks.
499일 만에 리메이크
You
된
played
피드
Fiddlesticks, the
정글로
remake
등장했는데
Fiddlesticks
타
after
대회에서나 혹은
499 days. But in other regions, he was mostly picked for top and mid, the lanes. So what was the plan in picking that for the jungle?
리메이크 됐을 때 정글 솔랭에서 돌려봤는데
I played the new Fiddlesticks in solo queue and I thought it was viable. I was keep playing it. Compared to the lane Fiddlesticks, I think jungle Fiddlesticks is better.
질문 드리자면은 정글 쪽 첫 POG예요.
This is the first POG for jungler.
안 나오고 있거든요. 뭔가 말씀하실 게 있나요?
Recently, we're seeing a lot of POG for junglers, so why do you think that is?
엄청 잘하는 것도 있고 라인을
Well, I guess
그런 것 같은데
laners are doing a great work, and at the same time, laners are really important. I think they're better than junglers. Are you sad about it? Or any thoughts about the junglers losing many POGs?
좀 있는 것 같아요.
Kind of,
잘한 경기
because there were a lot of games where junglers performed really well, but they weren't able to win a POG. Would you like to say anything to the 12 voters of POG to represent the junglers?
안 보이는 곳에서 해주는 게 많기
Junglers are doing a lot of work where you cannot see.
투표해 주시면
So I hope you guys can vote for the junglers as well.
그렇죠. 좋은 말씀 감사합니다. 맞습니다.
Thank you very much, Kenyon. Together with junglers, supports are also not getting a lot of spotlights, but not Beryl. You are doing a lot of fantastic performance with Pantheon and also Maokai. So which one do you prefer more?
원래 좀 맞는 걸 좋아해서 좀 마오카이를 좀 더
I like to be beaten up, so I prefer Maokai.
이번에도 챔피언이 좋은 게 아니라 본인이 잘하는 겁니까? 어떻게
Is that, once again, you performing well in this champion, or Maokai is a good champion by itself?
마오카이는 스킬 세트가 좀
Maokai,
단순하다 보니까
the skill set is really simple.
좋은 것 같아요.
So I want to say the character itself, the champion itself, is really easy and good. We had a very awesome the Kitty AOE near the Herald, and you also dodged all the skills.
그 저희 세트를 잡을 때 좀 투자 않게 많다 보니까
They actually like
상황을
allocated a lot of skills on set to pick him up.
있다고 생각해서 했던
So I thought that I can pull in the enemies. So that's how I kind of made that kind of outplay. Kenyon, you always trying to go for a lot of different champions, very diversity of picks. Last time you played Ivern. Is there any possible pocket pick in the jungle?
딱히 없는 것 같아요.
Nothing special.
재밌는 픽이다.
I guess Fiddlesticks was the one.
그 아이번은 758일만이었다네요. 오늘은
Yeah, I mean, Kenyon did play Ivern after about 2 years. It was last picked. You're not trying to play something after like a long time. What about Amumu?
아 그러게요. 안정감 있는
One of the Cloud Templar's favorite picks.
아무무라고 얘기 나오거든요. 피드리스들이 어떻게 생각하세요?
What's your thought on Amumu?
로 시작하고 한 판도 해본 적이 없어서
I've never played Amumu since I went pro, so I don't really know. There's definitely no need to play Amumu, confirmed by Cloud Templar. Today, Showmaker did a lot of great work, but when we take a look at the mic track, he always go like, I'm gonna throw. Does it really affect your performance?
경기 당일날에는 안 끓여주길래
He doesn't make me ramen on the day when we had the series, and 3 days or 4 days before he didn't make me a ramen, so he's a nice guy.
담원이 지금 승리하는 과정에서 다양한 픽들을 많이 보여주고
Damwon
챔피언들
has
수학
been
가능성이 높은
showing a lot of different picks, a lot of flex
좋은
picks.
환경을 만드는 걸 의식하고 있는
So,
건가요?
are you guys trying to kind of win the mind game? Is that your plan?
상체나 원딜 이런
Our
여러 가지 챔피언들
players on the top
다룰 줄
side and on the bottom laners, everyone just can play a lot of different champions. So I think that is one of our strengths.
23분 21일 만에 경기를 끝내는 앵그리 모드
We had
보여주셨는데
a very short game, an angry mode, Damwon Gaming. But next time it's gonna be up against T1. It's gonna be a big match.
기대하고 계실 것 같습니다. 자 끝으로 각오 한 말씀씩.
Any last message?
상대 강팀인 T1인데 그래도
We are going up against a very strong team, T1.
공격성 계속 살려내서
We will keep our aggressiveness and have a very enjoyable match.
베릴도
And Burrow,
어제 경기를 보니까 T1
I watched them performing yesterday, and they were really sharp. It was almost a perfect game. I think they're really doing a great job, so we have to keep our guards up and prepare for it.
좋은 활약 기대하도록 하겠습니다.
This will be the end of the interview with Burrow Kenya from Damwon Gaming, and I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jisun, as usual, for your fantastic translation of the interview, and brilliant to hear from both Canyon and Beryl, our two players of the game after Damwon's victory there in very swift fashion. They are going to move up to second place, and if DRX lose tomorrow, in any fashion, then DAMWON will be out in front in first place.
We're taking a look at the standings here, and it's interesting. This is what I was talking about. It seems like there's 6 really strong teams, and then there's 4 that are not so much. And so it's going to be like musical chairs. Which of the 6 will make it in, or which of the 5 will make it into the playoffs out of the 6? And right now, it's hard to tell. I mean, if I had to choose one out of the 6, maybe not Afrika? It's hard because they're all on such a high level right now. I do think that Gen.G and T1 are still slightly above everybody else, but then DAMWON and DRX are literally right behind them. But we need more games. We need to see all those games, and there's another great one right there.
And exactly, like this is actually going to give us a lot of information about that top 5 that you were talking about.
Yeah.
If DRX take down Afrika and then T1 take down Sandbox, as is what should happen based on what these matchups look like on paper, then you've got Afrika moving down to the other side of the bracket, and T1 will be closer to that 5th place, still needing to get a couple of extra points as well, because there will be a lot of teams on 3-1. So very interested to see how this one's going to go, because there is every possibility DRX loses to Afrika tomorrow as well, because they've been a little bit inconsistent. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
And I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. If I was ever in the dark,